Well, in my last episode, I notified you that at the time of the October 17th, 2023 trial announcement hearing, I was sure that Brandon Coleman's attorney would request a continuance of the upcoming November trial date. Well, if you want to see if he did, you better stick around until the end. And if he did, I'm also going to tell you what the judge had to say in response. So, you'll also want to stick around until the end to find out about that as well. Hi there, I'm Professor Blackmore, and welcome back to my channel and to my series entitled Potter's House Pedo-Files. And as you know, the husband of BishopTDJakes' daughter, Cora Jakes, i.e. Brandon Coleman, her husband, has been accused of carrying out various child sexual abuse acts as alleged by his and Cora's so-called 13-year-old adopted daughter, of which I think is not really legally adopted and is merely their foster child, but let me stay focused on the matter at hand, honey child. Now, since day one of the case, Brandon Coleman has not been happy with his court-appointed attorney, as we could see from the two separate handwritten motions he filed with the court. And eventually, the attorney himself filed a proper motion to withdraw from the case, which the judge denied without prejudice, meaning that the attorney could have refiled that motion for additional and/or subsequent consideration by the judge. But the attorney never did. Now, I never thought the attorney would be ready to actually try this case because it seemed he'd spent so much time trying to get Brandon Coleman to enter into a plea bargain with the prosecutor. And if I had the same mindset as this attorney, I would have refiled the motion to withdraw from the case, letting the judge know that in the interest of justice for Brandon Coleman's sake, it would be imperative for the judge to appoint new counsel who could properly prepare the case for trial. And after all of the resettings of the various hearings over the year while Brandon Coleman was sitting in jail because he was never able to secure a bail bond, although the judge did eventually lower the bail from $150,000 to $100,000, the judge set this matter for trial, which is set to begin with jury selection on November the 6th, 2023. And the judge also set a trial announcement hearing set to take place on October the 17th, 2023. And it was at this hearing that I advised you in my last episode of this podcast that I expected Brandon Coleman's attorney to request a continuance of this trial. Well, guess what? That is exactly what he did in this motion entitled First Motion for Continuance that he filed on October the 11th, 2023, in which he requested a continuance of the jury selection, the trial, and the trial announcement hearing that was set to take place on October the 17th. In other words, he had no intention of appearing for the October the 17th trial announcement hearing either. And his reason for the continuance, as stated in paragraph 4, is indicative of the stated fact that he received the documents that I outlined for you in my previous episode, wherein I advised you of this media discovery receipt detailing documents the prosecutor received from the Ellis County Jail amounting to surveillance conducted on Brandon Coleman's phone calls and visits, including over 9,000 pages of paper records, video recordings, and audio recordings. And so, Brandon Coleman's attorney states further that he would not have enough time to review these materials with his investigator and follow up on any leads. And now, I don't know what leads he thinks he can find from jailhouse surveillance of his client It really has nothing to do with the main event. He needs to be out here finding experts who can testify about whatever evidence the prosecutor has, but it's neither here nor there for me to say how he should be handling his case. I really do have every confidence that he was appointed by the court because he has expertise. So we will just have to see at the time of trial how he does. And now, notwithstanding all of that, and with all of that being said, although there seems to be a typographical misnumbering of the paragraphs in his thirsty haste to continue to stall in this case, allegedly, he seems to further indicate in paragraph 6, which really should be paragraph 5 because 5 comes after 4, that Brandon Coleman joins in and agrees to this motion. And I really do wonder if he went over there to the jail and let Brandon Coleman know that he was going to ask for a continuance, but that's neither here nor there for me to say either. In addition, he further asked the court to grant the motion without a hearing. In other words, if granted, he would not have had to attend the October 17th, 2023 trial announcement hearing either. But to that particular point, regarding the October the 17th, 2023 trial announcement hearing, the judge said, "Not so fast, baby boy." And although it appears that he also forgot to remove wording from when he used this document the last time when he filed this motion to withdraw, as you can see here, the judge made the correction for him and set the motion for continuance for a hearing set to take place at the time of the trial announcement hearing on October the 17th, 2023. Now, this would have been an indication to me that the judge intended to deny the motion. But let's see what the judge had to say. But before we do, just let me say that at this point, I think we can all see that the whole thing was very sloppy and severely lacking basic proofreading. Oh, but anyway, y'all, let me stay focused because I just think the judge can look at this docket sheet and see who's doing all of the work in this case to get it ready for trial. And that's the prosecutor. And I just think that if Brandon Coleman's attorney had more work on this docket sheet to show that he is feverishly working up this case for trial, a judge may be more likely to have mercy on it. But a judge is just not going to let a defendant sit in jail all of this time when it appears that not much is being done in a case, while the defendant's liberty is at stake every day that he has to sit in jail. And so, y'all know I was waiting like a catbird to see what happened at that October the 7th, 2023 hearing. And when there was no order on file by October the 18th, 2023, well, I got a little impatient. And so I ever so politely emailed the following to the court clerk at 8:15 a.m. local time on October the 18th. Quote, "Good morning. I am writing from outside of your county." And when I say that, I'm just saying to the clerk, "Girlfriend, I just can't come down there and look in the file myself." And so I state further, it is my understanding that there was a hearing in the above referenced matter yesterday on a motion for continuance of the trial. I do not see an order setting forth the disposition of this motion in the listing of court filings on the online docket. Is there any indication on the docket sheet in the paper file of the status of the motion? And if so, how can I obtain a copy of the docket sheet? Many thanks for your help." End quote. And so, about 2 hours later, at 10:21 a.m., I received this email from the lovely Madam Clerk with this attached court order denying Brandon Coleman's attorney's first motion for continuance. And so, at this point, I really am a little bit worried about whether he's ready. And if not, if there's enough time for him to get ready with less than 1 month's time left before jury selection, which is a very important transaction in and of itself, is set to begin on November the 6th. I mean, I cannot tell you how much time it would take just to get ready for the jury selection, because you actually have to make a presentation to the jury veneer, the group of people that you will be selecting from. Not to mention all of the other things that he has to prepare. I mean, I'm assuming that he plans to call witnesses, experts in the case, but what do you think? At this point, do you think that Brandon Coleman's attorney is ready to put on a case closed defense of this matter, securing a dismissal or a not guilty verdict? Please let me know by leaving your comments in the comments section below. And I hope you'll also give me a big thumbs up. And I hope you'll also consider donating to this video and my entire channel ministry by donating to the ProfessorBlackmore.com Cash App. And I hope you'll also subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I see that there are many of you who come back to this channel, but you're not subscribers. I see this in the analytics. And if you subscribe to this channel, it severely and critically helps me to continue on with this ministry. So I hope you'll consider clicking that subscribe button. And I hope you'll also click the bell so you'll be notified whenever I come back with more Potter's House Pedo-Files updates. And please also follow me on TikTok and Instagram.